Networking, it's not begging for a job. It's building that relationship, having those people be the bridge between you and the hiring manager. They
Mm-hmm.
become the ones who speak about you in rooms that you are not in.
You know what invisible looks like? It looks like having the credentials, the experience, the track record, and still getting passed over. Still not landing the role. Still feeling like nobody can actually see what you're offering. Welcome to the Leadership Story, where we talk about real women, real leadership, and real resilience. I'm Lisa Jones. Invisibility was Irene Chukwuma's reality when she came to the U.S. with a decade of international experience. She had done the work, she had the certifications, she had proven herself in her field. But the U.S. job market, it didn't recognize any of it. So instead of giving up, she did what a resilience professional does. She assessed the system. She figured out how it actually works. And now she's a 2-time best-selling author teaching others exactly how to navigate it. We're talking about job search strategy, networking, alignment, and what it really looks like to restart your career instead of starting over. Today, I'm here with Irene Chukwuma, and she is a resilience and risk professional, author, and speaker with over a decade of experience across enterprise, operational, and technology risks, business continuity, and global financial systems. As a certified ISO 22301 lead implementer, which I'm also that, she has helped organizations prepare for certification and recertification to industry standard. She has authored 2 books, 101 Job Search Tips for Immigrants and New Grads, and She Didn't Start Over, She Restarted. She serves also as a marketing and communications lead for Isaka Atlanta. She leads tech. Irene, welcome to the Leadership Story.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for having me here.
I'm so excited to have you here. I want to give my listeners a quick story of how I found Irene. I came across Irene on LinkedIn after she hosted a webinar, and it was called Before You Start Applying. And it was about job loss and using your skills to land the next role. And it immediately caught my attention because recently I have gone through a reduction in workforce myself. And then the more I learned about her work, the more I wanted her on the podcast. And she is also featured on the Global Exchange with Daniela McCoy, which made this conversation feel even more timely. So, Irene, I think this is a pivotal moment and a great discussion because there are a lot of people out here who are currently have been through reduction of workforce, and we've been hearing a lot of discussion and news stories about the this market being harder for people to find positions. This is timely, and I want to jump in to talk about your story because yours it's both similar about trying to find work, but also you are an immigrant coming to this country. What was the biggest gap between what you expected in the US job market to be and what it actually was?
Oh, that's a great question, Lisa. So for someone like me who migrated here, I came with experience, having worked about a decade around that time across
Hmm.
West Africa financial service space. I had the experience working with lean teams. I had experience in enterprise risks, business continuity compliance. So for me, I knew I brought those skills to the US. So I positioned myself to be a very experienced professional, and I expected people to recognize that I was someone with the skill sets that could play in various buckets
Yeah.
with expertise in business continuity, compliance, enterprise risks, and operational risk management. But it didn't translate like that. And I was shocked. I struggled with it at the beginning because I couldn't understand why I have this experience, but I'm not landing a job or landing a role. And it felt like I was invisible and people couldn't see what I had to offer. So for me, that was a big gap that took me a while to understand what was going on. But as a risk management professional, I did a risk assessment on myself, on the industry, the job market, and I was able to understand what was required and position myself better to successfully land a role in corporate America.
So let's dive in a little deeper because I think that that is important. Even now with those who are looking for a job and are trying to reposition themselves. What was some of the things that you did, or what steps did you have to take? Because I assume, or we all assume that we have the experience, we have this resume, send it out. It should be fine. What were some of the things that you had to do to pivot to break into the job market?
So I had to understand how the system works. And one word is key here is alignment. The job starts before your resume gets to a human. Now, with the current job market, we have things like ATS, we have positioning, we have networking, things you have to consider, and timing as well. So for me, I had to understand how the system works, which is what I talked about in my webinar. Before you start applying, you you need to align with the job first. Make sure your resume speaks to the expectation of the job. So you can do 10 things, but the job you're applying for requires you just to be one person with one skill set, with one line of thought. And then you want to position yourself to apply for that job. So I had to understand how ATS works, how to get myself across the ATS, to get my resume in front of a human, how to apply on time, because unfortunately there's a lot of job seekers in the job market and there are few jobs out there with the current transition and layoff happening. So many people are looking for a job. So I have to
Hmm.
understand that timing matters a lot. You want to be one of the first people to get your application in, not just rush to apply, but ensuring that the resume you're submitting has the requirement that is called out on the JD with the right keywords or buzzwords. If possible, you want to also explore networking, which is something I did. I started with maybe 82 connections because I didn't really have a community when I started job searching. But
Yeah.
there's one thing I say: nobody should job search alone. You need to have a community of people. And over time, I've been able to build my community to over 700 people organically on LinkedIn. And I also put networking into place, reaching out to people, not asking for a job, but reaching out to people to understand how the organization runs, what the expectations are, so you can better position yourself in the job market.
I love that. I think, especially now, it's important to leverage the network that we have to get positions, depending where you are in your career journey. When you're more experienced and have been in an industry for a number of years, we see that people who network tend to have a better opportunity or more opportunity to get positions than just people who are just submitting applications blindly and not knowing people to get those positions.
One of the things I want to add is that networking, it's not begging for a job. That's one thing I talked about in my webinar. It's building that relationship, having those people be the bridge between you and the hiring manager. So at the beginning, because like I said, this is my lived experience and I learned a lot applying for roles. At the beginning, I think I wasn't going at it right, but was able to figure it out that if I can network with people and have those bridges exist, they
Hmm.
become the ones who speak about you in rooms that you are not in, and they create that bridge between me and the hiring manager or me and the recruiter. And that's one thing I tell people, professionals looking for a job: network as much as you can. If you're looking for a particular company, there's a target company or people in a particular industry, connect with stakeholders who operate in that space. You can connect up, down, down, up. Sometimes can never tell who's going to accept, because I tried the up, down, up, it didn't work. And I
Yeah.
tried up, down, and one of my biggest connected LinkedIn is a stakeholder that's really high up there in executive management, who I probably wouldn't have met if
Hmm.
not for the opportunity to network.
The key thing, like you said, is having someone to speak to you, speak about you on your behalf in rooms where you don't have access. It's very important that we, think about that. We need those sponsors to speak for us. It's great to have mentors and your peer to peer networking, but having someone that is in the room that can speak on your behalf, that knows you, I think that that is something that we need to lean on more and leverage when we can. And I also love the part when you said that it's not begging. You don't want to, networking is not begging for a position. It's creating, being collaborative and creating connections. So when when those offers do open up, someone can remember you and say, "Hey, I have this person that would be great for this role." I love that. People have to remember
Yeah.
that. Networking is not
Yeah.
begging.
Yes.
It's just making a new friend. I always say it's just making a new friend because you never know.
That's
So
true.
you decided through your experience, you've written 2 books. The first one you wrote was which one did you write first? Was it the job search book first, or was it the, restarted book? Which one was first?
So I wrote the one-on-one job search team first.
Okay. What inspired you to write the first book?
Um, I didn't plan to write one book. Then now I have 2 books. I'd never planned to write the book.
Mm,
But I can say in the course of navigating the job search market and helping others who have come behind me land roles, I've I saw something that was lacking. People didn't have clear structure or direction on how to understand the job market. And I kept helping, sharing, which I still do, but I thought about if I could document this down somewhere, someone who doesn't know me, who is in this same bucket, might need guidance, and this can be something that can always pick as a quick guide to prepare for the job search, especially people, new immigrants, new grads, or people that are in transition right now. I put the first book out, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then
mm.
I sat, which was impressive because the first book was debuted as #1 new release on Amazon Job Search, and I felt like, oh,
Wow.
that was good.
Nice,
I didn't
nice.
see that coming, and so I thought about the journey so far, how I have come to where I am now, and I
Mhm.
started playing in my head. My experience is still relevant with me. I know how I got to where I am, and I didn't start to over again. So I just said it, and it just like, oh, this could be a book. And I put my pen to paper, and I started writing, and the manuscript kept getting bigger, and eventually it became a second book. And now I'm a two-time author.
Nice. And I really love the title. She didn't start over, restarted. Tell me where the title came from.
When I came to the US, trying to build my career, trying to break into corporate America, I had some feedback. People in my community say you need to start all over again. Your experience is not valid. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm certified in ISO. I'm an implementer, a lead
Mhm.
implementer. I've helped
Yes.
organizations implement. It's one standard globally. So my experience is valid, but I just need to
Yes.
reposition myself. And so when I successfully landed the role in corporate America in one of the biggest banks in the country, I looked at it. I landed a role with the experience I had back from West Africa, not with an American experience because same experience. So I restarted my career with that experience. And when I choose that title is because when you say starting over, it feels like you've lost everything and you're starting from ground zero. But when
Mm.
you say restarting, your experience is still relevant. Your experience still exists. You're just starting from where you stopped, picking up from there and not starting from the beginning.
My goodness. I love that because, yes, your experience, you don't lose the experience. It's a different way and you're applying it. Just like you said, how you had to change how you were applying for positions and you had to do some things to leverage yourself. And yes, ISO doesn't change no matter what
Yes, it
country
does.
it is.
It doesn't.
ISO is ISO.
Yeah.
So yes, that doesn't change. So, oh, now you have these 2 books, and from my understanding, I think the last time we talked, are you looking to write something else? Are you feeling like you, have another book in you?
Yeah, so I have some manuscripts in the work right now. It's just the way it is. Thoughts, when I put my pen to paper, a lot of thought comes across, and I was like, oh, that's a good thing. So I'm currently working on completing some of the existing manuscript I have done, and also sharing some of my thoughts on the newsletter I have on LinkedIn. And there's some ideas that come into my head, and I'm like, I think this is better as a book instead of a newsletter. And then it keeps growing. So I'm currently working on something. I should be releasing it later this year, trying to finalize that manuscript, right? I think it's going to be something that will be helpful to others out there as well.
What is the advice you would give people right now who are experiencing a reduction in workforce, trying to navigate their way and finding a position? What's the one thing you would say to people who are at this point?
I would say alignment matters more than volume.
Mm,
To get yourself aligned with the role is more important than submitting 100 applications a day and not be aligned with those applications. If
mhm.
you understand the job description, if you position yourself right, get yourself out there on time, you'll be able to make it across the ATS to a human. That's the first step. You need to ensure that you're going across. And on another thing I can say to people is, with how difficult the job market is, I know how heavy rejection can feel like because I've been there. I've experienced several rejections, but you have to keep going because you can never win a lottery without buying a ticket. So despite the rejections, you just keep
Yes.
going and going and going till the one that is your job will come, because your Monday morning is going to come. You're going to have a Monday morning that you're resuming at a new job. And if we're going to celebrate and say, now you've landed the role. So consistency and alignment are one of the advice I'll give to anybody job searching now. Keep going at it.
Wonderful. I am going to write that down myself. I feel like, again, I always say on my show, someone has a bumper sticker or they need to put that on a t-shirt or something. So I think you need to put that on a t-shirt. I love that. Yes, alignment. So we close our show as we always do with that signature question. Irene, what is the one word that defines your leadership story and why?
The one word is reliability, because to me, leadership is not just about vision or being known to be a leader. It's about being known to be consistent, to follow through for your team members that you lead, to follow through for the teams that you represent, to be someone that people can depend on, especially during ambiguous situations or uncertainty. Whether professionally or personally, I've learned that if you're reliable, trust is built when people know that you always show up, you always adapt, and you always keep things moving, even in difficult seasons.
Love it. You're the first one to use the word reliability. Irene, thank you so much for being on the show. I will put all of her links to her books in the show notes. How can people get in touch with you?
So you can reach me on LinkedIn, Irene Chukwuma. My email is also available on my LinkedIn, and I'm open to connecting with as much people as possible to share my thoughts, advice, or anything I want to discuss about what I do and what you're going through.
Nice. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Lisa.
Alignment matters more than volume. You can never win a lottery without buying a ticket. Such a great quote. As I navigate my own search right now, it's easy to feel like I need to apply for everything just to feel productive. But she reminded me that the job search isn't about drowning in applications. It's about understanding the actual system, positioning yourself strategically, and then showing up consistently until the right opportunity sees you. I'm in the same boat as many of you, and I shared my own experience in episode 11. I'm learning to look at the no's as data and the weights as time to refine my alignment. Irene's hard season became her biggest platform, and she's using it to help women like us navigate what no one else really teaches you. Now, if this landed, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment or a review. Hit me up on LinkedIn or send me an email at theleadershipstory@substack.com. It helps other women find us, and it also shows me that I'm on the right track and I'm giving you the value that you deserve. Subscribe to The Leadership Story wherever you listen to podcasts and on Substack for early access and the conversations that go deeper. And make sure you reach out to Irene either on LinkedIn, at her email address, and pick up one of her books. I'll put everything in the show notes. I'm Lisa Jones, helping you discover the leadership story you were meant to tell.